Tonight, we report on the identity of a woman who allegedly shot her husband, and narcotics detectives visit families for a Christmas surprise. I'm Alan Troop, and we have all this and much more on I-Fiber One News.
From the I-Fiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is I-Fiber One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is I-Fiber One News, and it starts now.
Josephine Bitterman was identified as the woman who allegedly shot her husband Tuesday afternoon at their home near Soap Lake. Bitterman, a 77-year-old Soap Lake resident, was interviewed by investigators following the shooting in the 18,300 block of Division .5 Road Northeast. Bitterman reportedly shot her 78-year-old husband once in the abdomen after an argument. The husband was flown by MedStar to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee, where he is listed in stable condition. Bitterman, who also goes by Josephine Johnson, was arrested Tuesday night for assault in the first degree. A local union group brightened Christmas for 30 children in Quincy. Reporter Cameron Probert has the details.
Several Quincy children are receiving a gift courtesy of a union working on Microsoft's expansion. Local 598 Steam Fitters and Plumbers gave 30 bicycles and helmets to Grant County Fire District 3 and the Quincy Police Department to distribute to needy children. Sean Holland, a pipe fitter steward at the data center, said the donation is part of the union's Bikes for Tykes program.
Originally, we started it at Hanford, out at the Bechtel vitrification plant, where we get bikes for the Toys for Tots program. We call it Bikes for Tykes, and then we build those bikes for all the areas that are within our jurisdiction. And we give those to needy families and needy kids at Christmas time who maybe need a bike and couldn't afford one.
The union began the program about 5 years ago with 121 bikes. The union purchased more than 1,800 bicycles this year. The majority were donated to the U.S. Marine Corps' Toys for Tots program. The remaining bikes are delivered to fire departments to distribute.
Actually they're from very small bikes with training wheels all up to age 12, where it's like small mountain bikes. So it covers the whole gamut of ages from very small children to 12, 13-year-olds.
For I-Fiber One News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Grant County narcotics detectives surprised 3 families this week with a Christmas they never thought they would have. Reporter Joe Utter was there and has the story.
These guys are used to being undercover, but not usually wearing Santa masks. A quick raid meeting Monday morning, and the detectives from INET, along with the Grant County Sheriff's deputies and Moses Lake and Quincy police officers, headed to surprise 3 families with what they called a rest warrant, giving families a well-deserved rest during the holiday season. 3 families were selected with the help of local churches, and each family's clergy was on hand during each of the warrant services. With presents in hand and an awaiting grandmother and 6 grandchildren inside a Moses Lake home, officers and several county officials served the rest warrant, signed and written by Superior Court Judge Evan Spurline, and read out loud to the family by District Court Judge Tyson Hill. But it wasn't just presents for the kids. Grant PUD paid the family's power bill for the next 3 months. They were given an oil change and a gas card, night out for grandma, a traditional holiday meal, and gift cards to help fill immediate needs. And one last surprise as the family headed outside as a truck pulled up filled with bikes for the kids as an early Christmas present. Meet Kathy Gardner, a grandmother to her 6 grandchildren she's raising on her own. She called the day a miracle for her family.
Oh, it just means so much. We were just praying and asking God and believing God for a miracle, and He showed up.
Gardner added it would have been a difficult holiday season without the surprise.
Absolutely. And it means so much to the children because we were wondering how we were going to figure things out, but there was already a plan in place. And so again, we just thank you so much for everything and just the community and the love that's been shown. We're so grateful.
The idea for the event came from the Lowell Police Department in Michigan, where video of their traffic stops went viral after officers stopped drivers for minor traffic violations. But the officers weren't handing out tickets. A few quick questions about what the driver's family wanted for Christmas, and moments later, those items showed up. Because INET detectives don't conduct traffic stops, they decided to serve warrants. INET's plan came together in less than 2 weeks, with more than $5,000 raised in cash and donated items from local businesses and individuals. The next stop was to the home of Keith and Elizabeth Dovier and their 2 young children. Keith works the night shift, and as a single-income household with 2 children, he said they had just enough money to get their kids only a couple presents for Christmas. Their 2 children were staying with grandparents and will have quite the surprise to come home to. The criminal justice system as a whole has had a tough past few weeks across the nation. Monday's event showed compassion and cooperation within the Grant County criminal justice system, from judges to deputies.
It warms my heart, it really does, to be able to have this kind of outpouring of support, not only monetarily but personnel-wise and families, to be able to help someone out a little less fortunate during the holiday season. So I think we're going to do it right and make sure that we make their Christmas today.
This is Joe Utter reporting for iFiber1 News.
A Moses Lake man allegedly attacked a man with a pistol after accusing him of stealing a tablet. Prosecutors charged Elijah Fletcher, a 24-year-old man in Grant County Superior Court, with burglary in the 1st degree, assault in the 2nd degree, unlawful imprisonment, and obstructing a law enforcement officer. Fletcher reportedly told police the victim and another man contacted him because his door was open. When Fletcher returned home, he noticed his tablet was missing. He reportedly learned from another person the victim tried to sell the tablet. He returned to the victim's home and pushed him into a bathroom. The victim claimed Fletcher hit him twice with a pistol, and Fletcher forced him to leave with him to retrieve the tablet. When officers arrived, Fletcher allegedly fled through a series of lawns before he was found hiding in a shed. And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
And we'll be back right after this.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Cristina Sanchez with your One News Weather Center, brought to you by Bud Clary Toyota dealer, Toyota Let's Go Places. Thank you for joining us on this Christmas Eve. We do have a quiet weather pattern for the next couple of days, mainly for this Christmas Day. Now we do have mostly sunny skies with around average temperatures as we go into this Christmas afternoon. A Pacific storm system has brought in snow for the Cascades and also a combination of rain and mountain snow that will continue to impact that holiday travel throughout the night. Now we did start off the day in the upper 30s. Those temperatures are still above average for this time of the year. High temperature today in Alpharetta in the mid 40s. Normal highs in the low 30s. Moses Lake as well. High temperatures in the mid 40s. Started off the day into the mid 30s. Now as we take a look at our current temperature, we are into the upper 30s, flirting with that 40-degree mark, with winds blowing from the west-northwest up to 15 miles an hour. Mostly cloudy skies will continue. We did have a frontal system that brought in a combination of rain and also mountain snow to the Idaho Panhandle and also to the southeastern portions of our state. and that will continue to move out, but this is why we may still see some holiday travel still impacted throughout the night. Then we do have quiet weather for us on Friday, starting off on this Thursday for Christmas Day, and our next storm system will arrive over the weekend, mainly starting off on Saturday. Saturday night we may see a chance of snow within the region, however dry conditions right behind that system. High temperatures on this Thursday along the coast in the mid-40s. 45 for Seattle as the high end. As we take a look into the inland northwest, high temperatures in the mid-30s. So it is a cold Thursday. However, it'll stay for this Christmas Day. We'll have dry conditions into our Columbia Basin. As you can see, sunny skies, high temperatures in the low 40s, above average temperature for this time of the year once again. 42 as the high in Alpharetta, 41 in Moses Lake, and Royal City, 40 degrees as the high. As we take a look at our 7-day forecast, we do expect that slight chance of snow for this Saturday afternoon as the next frontal system moves in within the area, moving in from our northwest. However, for this, as we go into this Friday, we do expect that drop in temperatures into the mid-30s. Those temperatures will be right around normal for this time of the year. Then we do have that chance of snow on Saturday, then Sunday, dry conditions once again, and temperatures in the upper 30s. Drop in temperatures once again for Monday and Tuesday. By then, temperatures will be into the upper 20s, and low temperatures for Friday morning and Saturday morning, they will be into the mid to upper 20s. Thank you for being with us. This weather was brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. We'll be right back with sports.
You don't need me to tell you that 4 and all-wheel drive time is on its way. But maybe you didn't know your local Toyota dealers are gearing up for the season with special savings on our top-selling 4 and all-wheel drive models. From tough Tundra trucks to our best-selling CUV RAV4 or Benza, the perfect blend of all-wheel drive with safety and style. Plus many others. The bottom line is exceptional 4 or all-wheel drive savings just in time for winter. For full details on these and other savings, visit any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Ephrata boys basketball is off to one of its best starts under coach Brandon Evanson. The Tigers have won 7 straight and are the top team in the CWAC at 4-0. Looking back on a preseason interview, we find Coach Evanson expected big things from the team this year.
Ephrata basketball is gearing up for a new season, but the goal is still the same: make it to state. Head coach Brandon Evanson knows the task won't be easy going through the CWAC.
They're all tough. You know, they really are. This is an extremely tough league this year. Wapato, Ellensburg are probably the 2 top dogs, and then you got Prosser, East Valley. Those 4 are pretty good.
Coach Evanson will rely on his team's speed and ability to shoot well all season. He expects all 11 of his players to contribute.
All 11 of them. You know, they're all good players. They're all going to play a vital role. We got 5 guys returning from last year's team that'll step up and lead us in the right direction.
10 of those 11 players are seniors for the Tigers. Coach Evanson thinks that bodes well for his team throughout the season.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you have a lot of seniors, they show a lot of great leadership, and they know they've been in this program 4 years. I think that's very important for team rules and our expectations for them.
For Fiber One News, Sean Wells.
Lady Tiger basketball is in full swing. The team took 2 of its first 3 games, but then lost 3 in a row. The Tigers return to the hardwood to take on Grandview January 3rd. We caught up a Lady Tiger team before the start of the season.
With games right around the corner, the Lady Tigers are ready for a new season. Head coach Aaron Ross likes his team's mix of different playmakers.
I think we've got a little bit of everything. We got some post players, we've got some guards, we've got a couple shooters. We're fairly athletic, so I like the combination we have. It's just gonna see if we can put it all together.
A bevy of upperclassmen bodes well for Coach Ross.
And we've got a whole bunch of juniors that are sort of ready to make their mark also. So, like I said, we can put it all together.
Senior point guard Freddie Ham thinks this Tiger team can do something special.
I think we can, and we're going to have to dig deep. And there's a lot of rumors around that we're just another team and we're going to go through the same routine, same record, but I think we can prove everybody wrong. But it's going to take a lot of work, obviously.
Senior post player Harley Venata isn't shy about her expectations.
Go to state and win that and take it all away. I want a trophy, a pretty one too.
For Fiber One News, Sean Wells.
We'll be right back after this.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Kono. I am your local Ephrata Farmers Insurance Agent. Here at Cheryl Kono Insurance Agency, our customers always come first. We don't just work here, we live here. Please stop by the office, call, email, or Facebook me for a free auto, home, life, business, or farm and ranch quote today. We are insurance. We are farmers. Come in for a free quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a senior at Moses Lake High School who used her senior project to learn the music business. At the same time, raising money and food donations for the Moses Lake Food Bank. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Shalina Shasha Butler learned all about the music business as part of her Moses Lake High School senior project. From writing hip-hop songs and lyrics to graphics for the new album cover, Shalina did it all, including a recent hip-hop arts performance on stage at the high school theater. For $5 and a can of food, friends and family saw Shalina and other local rappers perform her songs live. Dancers and animators also contributed to the show that drew about 100. The money and food went to Studio Over Streets, a group of artists, musicians, and performers. The group promotes positive expression through the arts over the street gang lifestyle. Studio Over Streets members said proceeds were to be donated to the Moses Lake Food Bank to help the homeless. Shalina's uncle and Moses Lake rapper Robbie Rowe mentored his niece through the music recording process. Shalina's CD, Broken Smiles, Never Judge a Book by Its Cover, is now available.
I wrote all the songs. I totally butchered them when I first wrote them because I didn't know how to write. So my uncle actually showed me how to write, and that's how. And then I edited them all. Nobody really knew that I liked rap music, and then it was about time to turn in our senior projects, and I was like, I got to think of something quick, and I knew that my uncle had been rapping for some time, so that was kind of my inspiration.
After struggling through the learning process, Shalina says she doubts she'll grow up to become a professional rapper. Instead, she hopes to go on to college and apply her love of helping people by becoming a psychologist. She explained what inspired her to become a counselor.
Last year, I did this 3-day seminar called Thrive, and it was basically about acceptance and inclusion and things like that. And so I got the idea from a teacher here at the high school. We started a club called Thrive, and it's for kids that don't necessarily fit in to places in the school cliques. And since I'm interested in psychology and working with teenagers, I just really wanted to promote this as some kind of guidance for future high schoolers.
Lean back and throw your hands up. Roll up, roll up. Throw your hands up. Roll up, roll up. Yeah.
Her uncle Robbie said he was honored when his niece asked him to mentor her through the student project.
She told me about her ideas and what she wanted to do and how she wanted to help the community and how she loved the whole idea about Studio Over Streets. And she was very excited about the whole idea. And she said she wanted to write and record a whole album from beginning to end from graphics to writing, the whole shebang. And she wanted to do a concert to donate the proceeds towards the organization Studio of the Streets and homeless families and the families that we have around here.
Robbie said copies of Shalina's CD can be ordered for a $10 donation to Studio Over Streets by calling Robbie at 509-760-9870. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
We'll be right back after this.
Are your kids rough on your furniture? Things looking a little run down? Then come to More Furniture in Ephrata and we can help get things back in order. We have all the top name brands made with strong quality support, including Sealy Posturepedic mattresses, because whatever you do in bed, Sealy supports it. The next time your furniture is in need of some replacing, stop into More Furniture in Ephrata, locally owned and trusted for over 100 years.
Attention business owners. The deadline is fast approaching to advertise in the 2015 edition of the Moses Lake Local Book. Don't be the only business left out. In print or online, it's the best way to reach your customer when they're ready to buy. Call today to place your ad by calling 877-738-9829 or by visiting us online at www.statewideyp.com. The Moses Lake Local Book Telephone Directory. Simply the best advertising.
Welcome back. The Grant County Animal Outreach Polar Bear Plunge returns to Moses Lake next week. Reporter Joe Utter has the details.
Grant County's coldest event of the year returns January 1st in Moses Lake. Grant County Animal Outreach is hosting their 8th annual Polar Bear Plunge. The good news this year is the lake's not frozen over, but it's still going to be cold with current weather forecasts calling for temperatures in the high 20s. The event begins at noon on New Year's Day at Cascade Park off of West Valley Road. Hot chocolate, coffee, and cookies will be available to warm up participants after the plunge. Participants will also have the opportunity to enter a raffle for a gift basket. For each donation of cash or goods, the person donating receives a raffle ticket. For every $288 donated, an animal outreach staff member will go into the water. If donations reach $2,015, the president of the board will also jump in. The event helps raise awareness and funds for the Animal Outreach Shelter, which has been in operation since 2007. For more information, call 509-762-9616. This is Joe Utter reporting for iFiber One News.
In Northwest news, we all know that office holiday parties can get a bit wild at times. But one party ended with a worker in the hospital after he almost drowned drinking eggnog. Jed Bowl explains.
I think it was kind of one of those spur-of-the-moment things.
As his holiday office Christmas party wound down and Ryan Roach headed for the door with his wife and kids,
they bust out some eggnog
for a chugging contest. One of his colleagues called him out to compete.
I've already decided that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to win.
The record at that point, 22 seconds, with a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse gift card on the line.
Chug! 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 Chug!
Pretty much poured it down.
In just 12 seconds, without a breath.
And got done, and I was like I couldn't breathe.
Roach coughed a lot, but thought he would be okay. A couple of hours later,
I was pretty much shaking uncontrollably. I couldn't control my body. I was shaking so bad. I was extremely nauseous, and my breathing became a pant. It's more like
a friend in med school checked on him and took him to the hospital. He had aspirated the eggnog into his lungs and was essentially dry drowning.
They pretty much had to wheelchair me in, double IV and oxygen, and hooked me up to what they called the nuclear weapon of antibiotics.
The liquid in his lungs was starting an infection.
It was rough.
He spent 24 hours in intensive care with a fever, sweats, and chills.
Eggnog, not ideal for the lungs.
Doctors took him off oxygen and he went home. Roach did win, but at quite a price.
Not only did I get a Ruth's Chris gift card, but I got a 3-night stay in the hospital.
Police in Arizona spent the better part of Monday tracking down a giant bear. You can see the brown bear wandering in a field outside of Phoenix, but officials lost sight of him a few hours later. Police did not go looking for the bear and said the public was not in any kind of danger. A visit from St. Nick, except he didn't come down the chimney, but the side of a building. Kids at a children's hospital in Portland were thrilled Monday as they watched and waved as window washers dressed as Santa and his elves rappelled down the side of the hospital. Even though the kids got a surprise, business continued and the windows got washed in the process. And that's going to do it for us here at I-501 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.